Okay, testing API with a late entry 1602. 1602. Not doing my normal API because it's been so difficult to trade. Last week would have needed a bracket of 11. So today I'm testing it with an entry time of 16:30:02. Someone said 03, but I'm trying 02. Bracket of 6, targets of 7:15, stop at 12. That's the setup. No indicators required. Got 2.5 minutes to go. PP is going to get tested right now, it looks like. It's only 3 ticks away. Double check my settings for the last time because they're not my normal ones. Breakout trade. Bracket of 6. Entry of 16:30:02. The news comes out at 16:30. Break even trigger at 10 and 2. That means if the market moves 10 ticks plus my bracket, 16 ticks, it'll move my stop to break even plus 2. First target is 7. Second target is 15. Stop is 12. So you need some decent movement to make this trade work. And usually it gives you some good movement. A lot of slippage on this trade. But I don't care that much about slippage. Slippage is like air. It's always there. It's in a lot of trades. But if you get a good enough move to overcome the slippage and keep moving in the direction that you want it to, then slippage is just there and it reduces your profit a little bit, but it is what it is. You can't get rid of it completely. There's things you can do to try and reduce it. You can't get rid of it completely, so just accept it. It's going to be there. Some trades have more than others, and that's the way it is. Slippage is there, so don't lose extra sleep over it. And this is just a test because this report has been a mess. 2 weeks in a row during the holidays, it didn't even fill. I've never seen that in 5 years. 5 years. That's how long I've been watching this report and trading it off and on.
Order pending.
So not a very big move. But the hope is it'll continue in the direction now and not change directions. The news is not released yet to the public. Usually it takes about 5 minutes. It would not have worked great as a breakout trade. I don't think, but I'll go back and test it. Your current time of the chart was 86 and it went up to 97. So no, it would not have been. I would have had a 12 tick bracket. It wouldn't even have. It would have been a loss at this moment. It would have been pretty close to what it is now. So the idea here is we want it to keep moving in the same direction, which is often what it does. Not always, but often. Be quite happy if I got my first target. I think there's a real possibility it's going to go up and test the high. I would put my stop below the PP, not above it. It's crazy to have the stop above it. It's got to be below it. Why give the market a gift to take your money. Make them work a little bit harder. Put it under the PP. And this is a good lesson, just trading. Has nothing to do with what report it is. This is just trading common sense for trading the news. If your stop is one tick above the PP, move it below the PP, or a major pivot, move it. Put it in the right place. It's not always going to be in the right place. I'm trying to listen to Talking Forex to see if they've gotten the news yet. Sometimes they get it. They got it. With price hanging on the high side, you got to think that there was a drawdown of a substantial size, or a drawdown quite different from what they were expecting, more than what they were expecting. It doesn't have to be substantial, it could just be more than what they were expecting. But you can see how the price is hanging around at the high point, which still leads me to think that the drawdown is bigger than expected, or it's coming out now. Gasoline had a build, but it's winter, doesn't affect things as much. But distillates had a build, which could create a little bit of chaos, but it hasn't. Let's see what crude gets marked at. I didn't hear what he said on crude. The most important number. So you could have gotten out positive on this trade. Maybe. Because keep in mind it's a sim fill. There might have been more slippage than what we're seeing. It's possible. But we were filled at the top of the candle. How much more slippage could there have been? Not very much. There we go. I think it's going to test the high. So let's make some money. Shrink the stop right below the low of the 200 moving average. And now let the trade work. You could take your one contract now and make, $75. But I think it's going to test the high within the next 5 minutes. That was the sound of 10 ticks of profit potential as the stop moved. So look, you could get out of this trade now with a nice profit. Popped up nicely. I'm not giving up this trade by getting stopped out. Not a chance. Stop it. It's going to keep moving it because every time it makes the profit, it's going to keep doing that. I can't turn it off. Still waiting for a print of the news. They really do take 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes. Here it is. Big drawdown, negative 5 million versus expected 3.5 million. Okay, so that's really what's affecting the price today. It's not the distillates that had a slight build. It wasn't a gigantic build. Okay, I don't want to get stopped. I'm going to cancel my stop.
Order canceled.
But I'm going to put my orders back up on here.
Order pending.
Sell 2 at the high of the day.
Order pending.
I'm not that interested in the stop. Don't really care. Don't care about the strategy anymore. It's not about the strategy anymore. It's about the trade. Strategy would have worked. The setup that I used, it would have worked. Would have made some money. Now what I'm doing is I really feel strongly it's going to test that high. I'll put an emergency stop in.
Order pending. Order pending.
But I don't want it in my way. Okay? Under the PP, we said. So some trades, they get a little boring as it goes on. Not every trade is a minute, 1 second, 3 second, 8 second trade. Sometimes you have to think like a real trader, a discretionary trader in a news trade. But you could see that that high of the day is a magnet. And my magnet trades, they work. They work. So, do you want $250 for the trade? That's not bad for 2 contracts for 7 minutes, 8 minutes worth of thinking. Or do you want to see if I'm right and see if it'll touch that high of the day? Let's give it a little more time. Let's give it till a quarter of, till 16:45. Now, a lot of people feel do not turn a winner into a loser. So at least put your stop there so you make 1 or 2 ticks no matter what happens. And that's not a bad concept, but it could easily reverse all the way back to the entry and then go back and test the high. It could. So I'm going to be extremely volatile with my stop. I still think it's going to move and touch the high of the day. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes. If it doesn't, then I'll take my profit. So my experience with this trade is I'm going to take my profit. If you stay in too long, they change the margin on you, and if you have a very small account, they could close you out of the trade due to changing the margin requirements and making them much higher as you get close to the closing at 5:15. So I'm going to take my profit.
Order filled.
$200 it would have been roughly.
Order canceled.
200 roughly on the oil report. But the point is a lot of common sense in this video. This is Lee Goldstein for TNT. I'll see you in the trade room.